Hey,
Yo,
what's going on?
2025. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm doing great. Man, that intro always gets me so pumped. Hey, I'm like,
I know, it's so good.
I'm like, oh, here we go. Oh,
You
it's been
said it, man.
it feels like it's been so long, hasn't it? I feel like it's been forever.
It does, but it's only been a month. There's just been so much on with Christmas and New Year's, the start of 2025, and Dean and Skree Show's back. We got a great episode for tonight. But how you going, Skree? How you been?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. Like you said, Christmas break. I had 2 weeks off just to hunt and just go crazy at op shops, and yeah, I've got a lot of pickups to show tonight. So hopefully the show doesn't go too long because I've got a lot of pickups. But yeah, I'm super keen to get back. This is I'm excited.
Nice. Well, we're gonna really big episode tonight. We've actually got a couple of legends in the toy community. Two of the guys that pretty much are part of one of the biggest online toy collecting socials we have here in Australia. We've got Ian and Tubbsy joining us from Toy Box Collectables 2.0. So I'm going to bring them in right now and just say hey and just get to know them a little bit more. How are you, Tubbsy? How are you, Ian? How you going, mate?
Hey guys, how are we?
Good, thanks, mate. Hey, good guys.
Yeah, so 2025, Happy New Year. We haven't seen you guys this year, but we've been chatting in the background. How's your New Year started?
I'll let Ian go first.
I was going to do the same. All right, that's the first and last time I'll be nice to Tubbsy tonight. But yeah, going well, thank you. Yeah, a busy time of year, obviously, with Christmas, New Year, all that kind of stuff.
Always is, mate.
January's almost over. Like it's kind of weird. It's kind of it's flying past already.
Just disappears.
This weekend too.
Oh, it is too.
So, yeah. I had 3 weeks off over Christmas, which was fantastic. It was a busy time. We had international family over from England. They stayed with us for about 5 days.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was a really busy time. Come back to work and it was twice as busy as it was before we left. And big news for me. My youngest, he got his P's today, so he's flying the coop.
Wow.
So
he's news, that's got to be a scary moment.
It is. Yeah, I was just saying to him beforehand. He's 19. He didn't. He's 20 in a couple of weeks, but he finally pulled his finger out and got his P's, and he's got his own car, and I teared up a little bit when he drove off by himself, and he lives 2 or 3 k's away, so in his own apartment and that. But yeah, it was nice. It was a good moment, good dad moment,
proud dad moment.
Yeah,
but so tonight, we're going to get to know Ian and Tubbsy, get to know what they do in the community, get to know what they collect. So they both have a fantastic collection. And as I say, my collection's very eclectic and a lot of random stuff going on. These two boys, actually, they got a lot of focus and dedication for one line each. So we will get into that, but we'll just say hi to the couple of people that are in the chat. So we've got Nick Smith.
Hey, Nick.
Hi, everybody. How you going? Thank you for joining us. Kerry.
Hey, Kerry.
The Peacock. How you going? Jules. Always a big supporter. Hope you had a nice New Year's and Christmas, Jules. Lena Lee. Hello.
Hey, Lena.
How you going? And another legend, Scotty Crusher's here.
Scotty Crusher.
How you going, mate? So, yeah. A few people in the chat, a few more people watching us. So really, I think we might get into just getting to know a little bit, and we'll go with Ian off the cab. So, like I said, you guys run. You don't run. You're part of the guys that run Toy Box Collectables 2.0 on Facebook and Instagram, and you're also massive collectors. Like everyone can see the collections you've got in the background there. But I'd like to know, especially Ian, we've got some photos to show as well of your collection. Why? Why do we collect what we collect? I guess the question is.
I guess the answer is why not? Because
Yeah.
I really don't have too much more, to be honest. Like my main focus is Chewbacca. I am a massive Star Wars fan, have been for, I guess, most of my life, as far back as I can remember. Chewbacca definitely was a favorite as a when I was a kid, but I don't know, it's just been my focus. And like one of the photos in particular where I've sort of taken one little corner of this room that I'm in, that's literally been a COVID project. So everything in that photo has literally been from lockdown onwards. So the focus mainly in recent years has been Chewbacca. They are all different, these ones.
And what makes these all different?
Different COOs, country of origin. There's some slight variances there. One of the most common things that people say when they come into the room, and Tubbsy, I'm specifically talking about your lovely wife, Sarah. Her reaction when she walked in, she's like, "But they all look the same." And it's like, "Yep, that's cool. Yep, you can leave now. It's okay." I guess, and this is something that I've only recently learned myself, just all the different variants. So, there's some subtle variances, subtle differences between them. There's, I want to say, I think it's 27 different types of Chewy when you get down to the specific tiny little variants. So, that's my focus now. Just I've got a lot of the modern ones, which are cool. They have their own place. A few mocks and I don't know. Specifically now, what I'm focused on is just vintage Chewbaccas. So, that's my main focus. And what I don't know, what keeps me ticking along every day. What keeps me in the hunt.
I just learned.
Sorry, yeah.
I was going to say, I just learned something then, like, because I'm still learning stuff like the lingo in the collection. When you said COO, and I was like trying to work out what that meant when we're in the green room talking about it. I'm like, what does it mean? And then you said country of origin. So like, I wanted, so I was like, interesting.
So one of the most. I'll share those photos again. But you said you loved Chewbacca from when you first saw the movies. Like, what was it about him that stood out? Like, most people are like, I want to be Luke. I want to be the scoundrel Han. Like, why Chewbacca?
Yeah, again, good question. Like, I don't. It's not to say I didn't like Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and that, and hated the baddies like Darth Vader back then. I have a huge appreciation. I've actually got a Chewbacca. Sorry, so that by default that comes out not Chewbacca. I actually do have some Darth Vader figures, vintage stuff as well as modern stuff. I don't know, just Chewie. I don't know. He was just a big, gentle giant kind of thing that stood up for his mates and helped everybody out. The quiet achiever.
Yeah, gentle.
I like that. Well, gentle unless you rubbed him up the wrong way. So
I was going to say, unless you beat him at that hollow chess game and then you rip your arms off.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough.
So you didn't really get to see Chewie shoot his crossbow in the originals.
Mm-hmm.
You got to see what his crossbow could do in the new Skywalker, the Rise of Skywalker. No, sorry, Force Awakens movie. The first time. What did you think about that? What did you think about Chewie representation then?
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and with the bowcaster in particular, the way that it was used, and as you said, like you kind of discovered it as the movie sort of told the rest of the story and filled in some gaps. And it's no mistake that Han Solo grabs it in one scene and he shoots it and he's absolutely impressed by it, blown away literally by what it does. So it's kind of cool. I do like that. A little special moment since Chewie doesn't have much. He famously didn't get a medal in at the end of A New Hope. So
did you enjoy that moment
when he got one in the end? Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
kind of. We just say, "Hey, Stanko, how you going, buddy?"
Hey Shane, how are you, mate?
Hey, Shane.
And thanks to Scotty, he's just chucked up your socials
nice.
there.
So
Everyone,
a quick question with the Chewies. Do you still remember your first one that you got, or is it not in that collection?
I didn't have any as a kid. I didn't have many toys at all. Grew up in a very poor household, to be honest. So for me now, sort of, you could some argue that I've gone a little bit over the top, but just for me, it's not reliving a childhood. It's kind of making up for the childhood that I didn't have. So yeah, I don't know. The first Chewie that I've got in my collection, or one of the first ones, to be honest. Well, there's two that come to mind. I went on a boys' trip with some mates, I want to say 11 years ago, 12 years ago, maybe. And we went to Vegas. So went to the Toy Shack. I love watching those shows. The Porn Star show and all that, and it features the guys from the Toy Shack. They're one of the, I've got a mate who knows about this, and they bring them in and they talk about, vintage toys in this particular case. So yeah, actually buying a Chewbacca was a red carded modern Chewie, Power of the Force one, but I've still got that. That's in another room. That's where all my modern Chewies are, but let's not get into that. So yeah, I've got that one. Another one that comes to mind, and again, it's not even in this room, but again, another modern figure. And I actually had all three of my sons with me. It was after school. We went shopping, and yeah, I bought a Han and Chewie twin pack. So to be honest, it's not the best. It's not the best figure itself. Chewbacca, the mold is pretty ordinary. It's actually quite a shocker, but for me, it's the sentimental value of clearly remember that day, remember who I was with, where, what we were doing. And yeah, because my sons were with me, that was a pretty special one. So they were actually two of the very first ones that I had in the collection. As I said, most of this I've bought since COVID. That was my coping mechanism was literally to focus on my collecting, and yeah, kind of went a little nuts, I guess you could say.
I was going to say that's an extraordinary amount for just the last few years.
Mm.
But the vintage collection have pipelined a nice articulated Chewbacca coming out for their return to Tatooine. So,
yeah, there's some
another
new
one
stuff.
to go.
Yeah, need some more space. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I'm just going to share this room one. And sorry if my voice goes tonight, guys. I have just been coming off a bit of a flu. So I can see here you've got a whole bunch of actual vintage carded figures. Are they a whole bunch of different variants there?
Yep, there is, including the very, very first one that came out, the 12-pack A. I've got a couple of those, actually. Some of those are literally just a vintage card back, just the card, and I've got, it's in an acrylic case, and there's a vintage Chewie, the correct Chewie for that to match that card that's displayed in front of it. But yeah, a fair few of those. Most of them are the original mocks. Some of them are graded. To be honest, grading's not necessarily my thing. I've got some loose grades there as well, like right in that little corner display above a very awesome custom figure that was gifted to me not that long ago. So yeah, there is some mocks. They're hard to come by, especially here in Australia. Actually, that's one of the things that I am proud of. There's two mocks in that picture that I bought overseas. Everything else I have bought here in Australia. I've supported I've supported the toy fairs around Australia. Fellow collectors and other guys that run pages and all that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty proud of that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty solid effort. We will go back to that custom that you spoke about, but we'll just have the Toy Box guys got a YouTube channel. And adding to that, why not?
Not yet. Yeah, good question. Watch this space. We have talked about it, haven't we, Tubbsy? You're muted, mate.
Sorry. Just didn't want to interrupt beforehand. So, no, we have discussed it many times beforehand. So it's just we will get there. We promise. But just essentially not right at the moment.
I'll take the blame for that one. I'm just time poor with work, unfortunately. So when I have another day off, and I don't know, when is it? March, I think, Tubbsy?
Cool. Yeah.
That's my next day off. So.
A room tour video of both your collections would be a great start to any channel.
Yeah, true. Yep.
So what do you think, Tubbsy, when you go to Ian's and you just see that?
I certainly don't think they all look the same. That's the wife does that, but yeah, I would like to know if Ian's got the long hair and the short haired variant, and is there a shaved version of Chewy? No, we could work that out. I'll get some sandpaper out and
it'll be like a custom made one.
Start creating their own. So how many is actually on the shelf? Vintage Chewbaccas as whole?
Oh, question without notice.
Come on.
There is now, I believe, and I do have to recount, but I think there is exactly 400 now.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
So the last total count that I did, and this is everything. This is like cards, stickers, everything with a Chewbacca on it. I got to the 1,000 piece mark. It was over 12 months ago. So, as I said, I've literally tried to focus on just vintage Chewies now, but it's hard to say no. On my recent trip to Melbourne, I couldn't get any vintage Chewies, so I did come away with a few, modern Chewies. It's kind of rare that I'll find something that I don't have, but it's usually just the quirky stuff. Like, I don't know. Basically anything with a Chewbacca on it now. If I haven't got it, then I kind of succumb to the peer pressure of all these other collectors and sellers out there. So I do say yes to everything else.
So do you think you're up there with like the most Chewbaccas in Australia, like collecting? Like,
I think he's the only one.
The only one, yeah.
Expand that to the world. Do you know of another collector that has a large Chewbacca? I know there's like Bosch Bounty. He does the Bosches. There's a Bigfoot Tuna guy out there, I believe.
Really?
Yep.
Right.
There's a guy in the States that I've seen photos of his loose collection. He would have more than me. I haven't seen anybody else, to be honest. Like I don't personally see it as a competition. And I know that's not what you mean either. But of
course I do. What do you mean? You want to be number one?
To me, that kind of suggests a couple of things, and sort of more. If I was to overtake someone, and have more than them, does that mean I'm going to stop? And my wife knows this, but I don't think I will. Like, I have slowed down, and I've literally tried to focus, just on vintage Chewies now, and I do pass up on other Chewbaccas, but yeah,
that's my daughter.
Hello.
Yeah, it's my daughter.
Question here from Scotty. There's a lot of Chewies. How many different variants are there in the vintage line? And I don't think anyone actually knows the end result of any variants to the Star Wars vintage line.
Yeah, I think there's 27. When they look at all the different variants, and some of them are that subtle, they're really hard to pick. And yeah, I don't know. There's a couple of different different versions. It depends on who you discuss it with or whatever, like who you take as, the whatever. I don't know. The actual ruling, whatever. I don't know. It's it's tough. Not a competition we're not winning.
Like, the vintage collection of Star Wars has like endless amount of variations to their figures. It gets crazy.
Yeah,
the
it
good thing
does.
about Chewie is that how many different outfits. Like you look at Luke, there's different outfits through the time. There's Han's different outfits. There's trench coats. There's bits and pieces. Chewie wore a belt around his a bag around his shoulder, and he's sweet. I mean, there's variants on. I think there's different coloured eyes. There's with teeth, without teeth, all that sort of stuff. But the good thing is you don't have this endless supply of different uniforms. I mean, I think it was it Shadows of the Empire. There was one where he sort of wore some shoulder pads and a mech suit
with the buzz cut.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he had the buzz cut.
Yeah,
there's not a great deal of different bits and pieces that you can choose, that you can collect from him. So yeah it's good.
Right. That's what I've always stated, that the next thing for me will be Luke Skywalker, and there's so many different variants and different hairstyles and different paint applications, different outfits, and all the different movies he had. Lots of costume changes.
It's my son-in-law.
So you touched on a custom piece that was made for you.
Yeah.
I'll just chuck a picture up on this and just tell us a little bit of history about this and how it came to be.
Yeah, good question. I'm not the one that can answer this one. This was a complete and utter shock. So this was an awesome 3D printed custom Chewie that our good mate Dan made. I had no idea about this. So Dan and Monique turned up to Collecticon, as they quite often do, and I just get presented with this strange box, which I probably should have shared a photo of the box actually. But anyway, I had no idea about it. It was a complete shock. I was blown away, so humbled that someone would go to the trouble of, this is hours worth of work and all that kind of stuff. I was absolutely blown away by it. It is so cool. It sits on a shelf with some other custom jobs, including one by my good mate Tubbsy. He did one for me.
Nice.
But just absolutely awesome.
Is it a vintage body? Or is
the whole thing was custom printed? Yeah, just one-to-one scale. So it actually is a pretty damn good replica of a vintage Chewie. And his his head comes off, and that's me underneath. So yeah, pretty cool. Absolutely blown away. I was just so stoked that, as I said, absolutely humbled by the fact that Dan made that for me. It was cool. Such a shock.
Yeah, Dan from Insane in the Toy Brain. He's getting very skilled at, as you can see, 3D printing. And just a unique thing, even to think about, putting your head underneath there.
Yeah, very, very
cool.
I
think he had more fun destroying a Fuggler to make the actual box as well. So he was happy about that too, like destroying a Fuggler.
And just the fact that Monique actually donated that, she's a collector as well. That's it just they're really good people, very, very appreciative of the whole effort, and sits proudly in my collection.
Nice. Just last one. What do you think of the prototype Chewie? So different to the one that we got. I don't think I've seen the prototype. If I have, I can't picture it.
Does he mean the Ralph McQuarrie one? Looks it's more like Gizmo than anything.
Yeah. So Dean, if you're looking for it, I've got them again. They're in the other room. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, completely different. That's quite ugly.
Very.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And that's what the original concept design. There's a better one on the back there. That's what Chewie was looking like.
So the real question is now, if Chewie did look like that, Ian, would you have that many Chewies?
Probably not. It would take it would take a lot more wine for me to actually look at that and go, yeah, that's cool. That's something that I want to invest a hell of a lot of time and money.
He's not as cuddly and lovable.
I was reading somewhere recently that in the TV show or the cartoon Rebels, that Zeb is designed off the concept Chewie. So they look that concept Chewie looked very similar to what Zeb ended up being. Obviously not hairy and a totally different color, but it was sort of designed roughly off the Ralph McQuarrie design.
I can see that. Yeah.
That.
Yeah, I was reading it somewhere.
And the Shadows of the Empire version of Chewie as well that we spoke about before. Same kind of thing, sort of taking some of those little aspects of him.
Just say hi to Chris. How you going, Chris?
Hey, Chris. How are you, mate?
So yeah, Ian, what a awesome collection. Like, I know there's more than just Chewie going on in there, but Chewie himself, I love him. He's a lovable fur. And every time you go to like a Supernova or Supernova or Comic Con or something, and you see someone dressed up in a big Chewie, you can't help but just want to hug him. So,
is there any photos of the really big cardboard cutout? Because I love that.
Photos of it? Nah.
Yeah, and I love just get it. I love the cardboard cutout. I love the story behind it.
That one. See, it doesn't even fit on.
That is awesome. Yeah, it's life size. You got to leave him there for the rest of the.
That's cool. That is cool.
Just turn him around a little bit.
He's in the light.
So what movie is he? That one that looks like at least Empire or Return.
Yeah, I think. Is that all right? Yeah, it's a bit clearer. That'll
yeah.
What does it say?
I think they were released for Return of the Jedi. To be honest, I'm not sure.
This one's actually it's dated 2012, but to be honest, I think it's from. Yeah, I want to say Return of the Jedi.
So can I tell the story about that?
Yeah, you can tell it if you like. Tell the truth, though. You always in this one.
A little embellishment. So we're at Collecticon and we're packing up and we're walking out, and Phil Taylor says, "Oh, look, Ian, I've got this," and showed that to us, and Ian's like, yeah, and we all know he was going to buy it anyway. He was going to get it, and he's like, and I said, "Ian, you need it," and he's like, "Yeah, right, yeah." So I feel like I've twisted that arm that last little bit, and all's well, all good. About 2 hours later, I get a text message from his lovely wife Bianca with a photo of Chewie in the room that says, "I take it you're to blame for this."
Yeah.
So
and I went,
now
yes.
I'll tell you the truth to that side of the story. Yes, it was at the very end of a very long day at Collecticon, and we were packing up and going, making trips back and forward, putting everything back in the car and all that kind of stuff. And yes, as we always do, we were walking past Phil Taylor's tables as he was packing up. And yes, he did point out, I've got this Chewie, which I didn't see during the day. I don't even know if it was out on display or whatever. And he said to me, have you got one of these? Do you want this? Now, absolutely, the answer was immediately yes. And with Phil, there's not even a question about money or whatever it is. He's a great bloke and everything. So, no, there was no arm twisting needed. There was no
I feel like I had something to do with it.
Harry and the Hendersons. So that's what Carl Doyle calls Chewbacca. He always has a go at me, saying that's what I collect, Harry and the Hendersons. But no, that cardboard cutout there, he was always going to come home with me. And on that day, I pull up in the garage and I start taking everything out of the car, and I'm, plonking some boxes down and all that kind of stuff. My wife didn't know about this, so I literally got it out of the car and unfolded it and set it up. He was just by chance, he was standing in our bar at home. And I was just going backwards and forwards, and it did scare the crap out of my wife when she walked past. She wasn't expecting a big ass cutout, standing there. So yeah, that was the end of it. And then yes, she did get on the phone, message Tubbsy, thought he was behind it. So now it's a running joke with Phil Taylor. He's always shouting out to Bianca that he's got some more giant cardboard pieces that need to come, home with me. If he gets more Chewbaccas, I won't say no, but unfortunately he hasn't had any Chewies.
Sick.
But this one, because this is my home office. I work from home, I don't know, a lot. I do have to move him. I have to move him either out of the room or just to the side because I have my company logo as instead of a blurred background. But he has from time to time.
Oh yeah.
It picks up a face. It picks up the eyes. So he has.
Wow.
He has inadvertently, and it's mainly just his head, and it actually looks like because the camera tries to focus in on him and zoom, so it's quite weird. Of course, I don't know it, but I've had some interesting workplace Zoom meetings or whatever, and with some screaming going on, which I'm unaware of. I can't see it, but yeah, Chewbacca's. I don't know. He's decided to join the meetings from time to time, so I've had to move him, unfortunately.
Those HR emails would be good to read.
There was one thing, my background actually, and again, I couldn't tell, but my background actually, it removed itself. It disappeared. So I actually had people thinking that I had like a Toys R Us. I think that was mentioned. Toys R Us background, and there was actually a couple of people, in the meeting that went, "No, that's his Star Wars, collection," and I had to literally get up and grab stuff off the shelf just to show that it wasn't a picture. It was my actual room. So yeah. Anyway.
Hey Matt, how you going?
Hey Matt.
No problems, buddy. No problems. We're more interesting than the tennis, but
I hope so. I've been waffling on about Chewy, so yeah. I'm gonna enjoy some wine.
Well, let's get on to Tubbsy's collection. It's Tubbsy's collection again. It's not Chewy's, but it's and it's not just one thing. It does have a good focus, and we've got a whole bunch of photos to show. But Tubbsy, just a little bit on yourself, mate. How you got into collecting and just where you are now.
Yeah, look, I've been collecting since I was a kid. I come from a large. My mum's family is quite large, so I ended up getting a lot of hand-me-down toys from my uncles when I was younger. When I say, my mum come from a large family, there was 9 kids in total. So my youngest uncle is only 10 years older than me. So I used to get a lot of hand-me-down toys and stuff like that. So, for example, a lot of 70s toys and early 80s toys and so on. So yeah, I got into collecting Lego, Star Wars in general. Used to love just going to the aisles and just having a look around. Even if you weren't buying anything, just go to the aisles and look at all the carded figures. It was amazing. I grew up on the Central Coast, which is now quite busy. But back then when I grew up, there was no shopping centres there. It was quite, you had to go to Gosford basically, catch a train in Gosford and go to the shops to buy your Star Wars figures. It was great. So over the years, I've collected a lot of stuff. I've still got all my original toys from when I was a kid, minus a few that got lost along the way. I do collect a lot of Black Series figures, which is that wall there is mostly Star Wars. Been slowly getting into the 1/6 figures on the top there. I fast run out of room a long time ago, hence why I've been selling at CollectorCon for a few years now. I've been selling for a few years.
I just want to jump in and say that is a fantastic idea you've done with the detolf on the side.
A lot of people didn't think it'd work, and I was a bit skeptical. My wife's idea, actually, she was like, "Just do that." And I went, "I don't know if that's going to work, and I don't really want to pick up all the glass." So
yeah,
we've actually got support underneath the glass. There's foam. It's probably 13 mil foam in underneath the glass on the one side, but it's turned into be a fantastic idea because I'd run out of room, and I've since got another 3 cabinets, and all my 1/6 are all in there now, which is great.
That's so good.
A few little bits and pieces. I did have a bit of a clear spot there, hence why I've got the Ayrton Senna Lego for the F1 car on the side there. But yeah, it's been a great addition. But ever since IKEA stopped selling the detolfs, it's been hard to find the ones that I actually want. You've got to either way overpriced on eBay or Marketplace, or they go too quickly. So they just got to be quick.
Yeah. Because the white IKEA and the black Aldi.
Yeah. So so basically that whole wall there is all Star Wars. That one is a mixture. The first 2 rows along the top row and the next row down are all Indiana Jones, which is my main focus now. I have slowly settled down with Star Wars. Been selling off a lot of doubles and so on. I will still keep the ones that I've got, but I've really started. I don't collect TVC anymore. I don't collect a lot of I don't collect spaceships either, except for the Millennium Falcon. It's just they take up way too much room. So I'm trying to downsize a little bit and go back to my focus, which is Indiana Jones. I do have a cardboard cutout. He's not quite as large as Chewie. He's in the corner there. But yeah, I've loved Indy since I was probably about 5, I reckon, when I first watched the movies, maybe a little bit younger, and I have loved it ever since. So it's been difficult at times to collect because at the end of the day, we had figures in 1982, which I was way too young for. Yep. We had figures in 84 when LJN did the figures. We did 3 actually, so I have got 2 of those figures. Then they did figures in 2008 and then in 2023. So there hasn't been that constant, like Star Wars, there hasn't been that constant, 40, 45 years, whatever, of figures. It's only certain runs over the years. So the best introduction, though, was the Adventure series in 2023, which is all the 6-inch figures there. They had the Builder figure as well, the Ark of the Covenant.
Nice.
Some of them were hard to get. I've got in that picture there is Cairo Indy. It was rather expensive for a figure that came with no accessories. Didn't have the bottle, didn't have anything. I had the monkey, that was it. There was no jacket. There was no, I don't even think there was a whip, to be honest. But he was an exclusive overseas and quite expensive and hard to get. The newest edition, though, is the one in the middle there, is the Mezco Indy. And it's an amazing piece. Absolutely love that figure. It's, so good. I've got Major Top coming. He won't be here for another few weeks, though, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the newest addition to the collection. So the 2 figures there in the front, Mezco Indy and Figure Arts Indy, they're probably my favourites in the action figure line. So well detailed, articulation's awesome. Either like the Mezco one, the leather jacket is proper leather. It's really nice thin leather. It's not what they call it, not pleather. So it's very good.
Oh, wow.
I guess they've been making Han Solo figures, Indiana Jones figures for so long. They finally got his face perfect. Like they look
finally
great.
got his face perfected, yeah. So Mezco comes with a heap of stuff. You got the pedestal with the golden idol. Tot does come with the Ark of the Covenant with the light up feature. Indy's got 3 head sculpts from memory in the Mezco line. So you can have quite a wide variety with that. But yeah. Those ones are all the 2008 model, Indy figures that came out up in relation with the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
A couple of mailaways in that lot.
These are the ones my wife collects. She loves Indiana Jones.
Yep. She has wonderful taste, mate.
She got me.
I do have a lot of doubles too. So next time I see you, I'll let you know what doubles I've got and so on. And yeah, if she's interested in any of those.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm sure she would be. Thank you.
I'll tell you one thing it can be hard to collect. The Disney pins. They release a few and then they go really quickly at the Disney parks. I do have a lot of them, but there is quite a few that I haven't got, and they're ridiculously expensive if they sell out. So I've got some. Ian and I, I wouldn't say got addicted to it, but we sort of had this little thing when we went to Hawaii. In the bottom of the picture there, if you just go back one, bottom of the picture there is the pressed pennies. So we went around Hawaii and we're going to all the different tourist attractions and sticking our money in the pressed pennies and collecting those. But those 4 there are the Indiana Jones ones from the Disney parks. So I had to buy them on eBay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I do only have 4 mocks. Reason being is that they're all from 82. They can be extremely hard to get in good condition. When they are available, they're either really, really expensive or a lot of people are chasing them. So they're the 4 mocks that I've got. I do have other vintage loose figures, but yeah, they're the 4 mocks that I've got.
So were these hard to get because were they just peg warmers, clearance sale toys that didn't go, and now?
Traditionally, indie figures just don't sell well. I don't know why. They're yeah, I mean, even the Adventure series, I love them. A lot of people love them, but they're just not. Star Wars, for example, where they're just running out the door.
Yeah.
The original vintage figures, I don't think they were readily available in Australia, to be honest. So we're talking 1982 anyway, so I was 6. Yeah, so it was a bit hard for me to collect them back then. Even then they had mailaways as well. But Indiana Jones on card can go anywhere from about $1,200 to $1,500 for the mock, which is cool. But all those mocks that you see there have got stickers of $2.95. It's a massive increase. I know that mocks are worth it, obviously, because they're an older figure, but it just sort of sometimes the prices, you just shake your head and go, I can't afford that at the moment. So one day I'll get it, but I do have loose vintage indies, but yeah, some of them can be a bit hard to get. And to be honest, some of them look atrocious. So the face sculpts on some figures are really, really bad.
He's got a bit of a nose on that one.
He's got a bit of a nose on him. Yep. That, to be honest, I think that's about the 3rd one of those I've had. I've bought them and sold them on or whatever, or I gave one away as a present. But that's the exclusive that came out with the Golden Idol. I do also collect other stuff, so that's my Mad Max collection. The small part of it at the moment. There is a lot more cars coming out in the next couple of years, so looking forward to that.
So these are all new items.
Yeah, so they're new to me. So the one in the very back there is brand new. It only come out about 4 months ago. The Interceptor, it's been out for a few years now. They're all 1/24 scale. So and the Knight Riders Interceptor as well. So you got the first of the V8 Interceptors and the last of the V8 Interceptors.
Wow.
So eventually I will get the pursuit vehicles as well. But eventually they do go for some big dollars.
I thought this one was different for what you're collecting.
I love Assassin's Creed. I love the game. I've got all of them. I've got all the figures that were released in the 5-inch range. I've got them all. 4-inch range. I've got them all in the 12-inch range as well, apart from the movie figure.
So who makes these?
These are done by Damn Toys. So they're an official release. They had the license for a long time. They have since lost the license, and got all of the Damn Toys figures that came out. There was another Evor from Valhalla that came out. But it was nowhere near the detail of these. So yeah, these ones are fantastic.
So you must have played all the games.
Played all the games. Yeah, definitely.
Did you finish Ragnarok? What was it? Valhalla, sorry.
Valhalla are finished. The only one I haven't finished is Odyssey, and I'm currently playing that through now. Well, not now, because I've been spending a bit of time playing the new indie game. But yeah, up until that came out in December, I was playing Odyssey again because it's such a big game and fantastic.
Yeah, wow. So what's going on here? I understand the Star Wars helmets, but the top shelf, is that Troy?
Sorry, no, but it's a Spartan helmet, yes. We've got a friend who is an older gentleman. He's retired now. He hand makes a lot of stuff. He only ever makes 10 of whatever he makes. So he's made crossbows, he's made trebuchets, he's made all those helmets there, but he only ever makes 10 of each item that he makes.
Okay.
he does sell them, and we buy them. But generally, he's got customers basically that he's got his 10 customers that he makes them for. Every one of those are handmade. They're paper mache. They're extremely thick cardboard, so they're heavy. The Crusader helmet, no, the one on the right hand side that's got the wizard hat. Thanks, Shane Gould. That one opens up, so they open face as well. But every one of them says in it who made it. So Joe Harvey, and 1 of 10 or 2 of 10 or whatever. All of those helmets there are 1 of 10, minus the first one, the frogmouth jousting helmet on the left hand side, and it's a 4 or a 5, I think, of 10.
Wow. I just apologize. I will get to comments in the chat, guys. We've just got these last photo to show.
That one. These were all the original Daybill posters that came out in the cinemas. So that took a while to hunt some of those down. There was only ever one Raiders and one Last Crusade poster, but Temple of Doom had 2. That was the first original one that came out, and then later on they released the one where he's standing in the doorway of the temple, which is the more common photo now for Temple of Doom. But they're in chronological order, not release date order. So
I was going to ask. My OCD was going a bit there.
So, I mean, Raiders is a bigger frame anyway, so it would look better in the middle. But I don't know if you guys know, but the movies, if you watch the movies, Temple of Doom is set in 1936. 1935, and Raiders of the Lost Ark is set in 1936. So Temple of Doom is actually a prequel to Raiders.
Yeah, wow. I did not. Well, yeah, I don't think I thought about that.
Yeah. And Last Crusade's set in 1938. 39, sorry. 39.
Dang. Just got to go back to grab a couple of comments. So Maddie's here. We'll say hi to Maddie.
Hey, Matty.
Hey, Matty.
Everyone's just saying hi.
So Nate joined us as well.
Uncle Dave's movie and toy channel. Hello.
Well, hello.
Doing well, mate. Thank you for jumping on. Scotty says that's awesome. You have a bunch of childhood survivors. I'm lucky enough to have childhood survivors as well.
I'm going to put you on the spot too, Tubbsy, with one of your childhood toys that I had the pleasure of seeing and actually holding.
Yep.
Can you get your vinyl Cape Jawa, please?
Yep. Back in a second.
Indy was my favorite childhood hero. I think he was a lot. Like, he was great.
Mm.
Yeah, no, he certainly was mine as well. I mean, I love Star Wars, but I've always loved Indy.
That's admiring the 2008 Hasbro line. We'll just do that one. I'll knock you off. Pop you over there. There he is in all his glory.
I purchased this off the shelf in whatever year, I can't remember what it was. I was probably about 6 or 8 or something like that. I can't remember.
But in the 30s.
Yeah, not in the 30s. No. Wow, I think I paid about whatever it was on the shelf at the time. I bought it at Franklin's shopping center because they used to stock Star Wars figures.
Wow, wicked.
Yeah, so
That's
Franklin's
crazy.
I bought that for probably about $3 or $4, I think, roughly. But I've had that since I was a kid. So and I think out of the original, was it 76 photos, 76 figures on my box that I've got, X amount of 76. I think I had about 42 of the originals there, something like that.
Nice. That's awesome that you got a Jawa from a Franklin's.
Yeah,
I remember toys from Franklin's. I got my corpse figures, the Leonard corpse figures from there. I used to love that. Go shopping, parents would say, you can pick one, grab one. You're like, I'm getting this pack with like 7 figures.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, in all honesty, like, I love this figure now, but when I was a kid, I hated it and I never played with it. It sat in the box because I bought 2 other Jawas because they had the cloth cape. The cloth cape looked more like the movie. This was like, nah, it's a piece of shit. Put in the put it in the tub, and it sat there. So I used to play more with the cloth cape because it was more screen accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
that's
true.
Yeah, that's when I heard that story the first time and physically saw that figure. That is just absolutely amazing. So yeah, to answer Matt's question, yes, that is the Toy Toys one. That is the vinyl cape Jawa, an extremely rare grail. It's the only one that I've ever held. And Tubbsy, whether he knows it or likes it or approves of it, that's going to me one day. I've claimed that one.
Jawas are my.
Sorry, Ian. You met my mate Matt Broadbent. You and him are going to have to fight that over.
That's fine. That's fine.
You got him there. Yep.
I was just going to say that I love picking up Jawas, especially the Power of the Force 90s Jawas, the little 2-packs that you get. That's my sort of army building.
I really wish that, where they released the 40th anniversary. So they bought out, it might have been the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm. They bought out a vinyl cape Obi-Wan. So it had it was a standard figure, but it had the vinyl cape on it in the 6-inch line, that is. So the 6-inch line. It was really a missed opportunity. They really should have bought out a vinyl cape Jawa on the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm card back, or even a 40th anniversary A New Hope line. It just was, really a missed opportunity.
Can you please just put Matt's comment up there, and we're going to screenshot that as well. That's now legal, legally binding.
I'll come back.
There you go.
Right. Yeah.
Done and dusted.
You and Matt can punch on over it. That's okay. or have civil conversations
Over a couple of drinks.
That's right.
Mike's here. How you going, Mike? Thank you for jumping on, buddy. Hope you're doing well, mate. We'll just pop back to a bit of love for the Assassin's Creed games. They are awesome, but I never find myself being able to finish them.
Same.
I'm trying to finish Valhalla.
I love Valhalla. It's got so many awesome little Easter eggs, in and around it, around England. But the one that I haven't been able, I've played it, but I just haven't been able to get into it fully, is Mirage. It seems when you go from Valhalla, where there's such a big everything to explore, and then you go to Mirage, where it's like a city and the rest of it's dirt or desert. It's all sand. It's like it seems a bit boring to me. I just haven't got into it yet. My son's
we're getting a new one, aren't we, this year? We're getting a samurai one.
Yeah,
Samurai one, Shadows.
Yeah, super keen for that, Skree. Cannot wait.
That's
really
why
good. That's why I'm trying to finish Valhalla now. It's like just renewed interest in that, just to try and finish it off.
Nice. All right.
The stand solo. I just had a bit of a chuckle at Scott Crush's comment, the last one.
There you go.
That's it.
There's your first live stream on your new YouTube channel.
We could do it at the wrestling rink at Collecticon if you want.
Yeah, Collecticon. Yeah, it can be
one. There you go. Perfect.
One of my Friday fights.
Well, that's it.
That'll be a bit biased, mate. You're the one who runs that segment.
You said Collecticon, so let's jump into that sort of thing. So, obviously, awesome collection, Tubbsy and Ian.
Thank you very much.
Like,
actually, sorry, just before we go into the next section, I just wanted to. There's one of the photos. I'm not sure if we put it up, but very good friend of a lot of people in the community, especially myself and Ian. But Scooter Antonio, he's made a few things like handmade. This, I mean, it's 3D printed, but he gold leafed it, and I love it. Yeah, it's just so. I mean, he was disappointed with a bit of the finish on it. It's the best thing that I've received in the last sort of 6-12 months. I love it. It's he put so much work in it. Thought I didn't even know anything about it. I didn't ask him. He just said, "Oh, by the way, there's a package turn up on your doorstep today," and he's done 3 things in particular. He did this as well. The Holy Grail. He's also done the Grail tablet, which you can just see here. I won't get it down now, but it's in one of those pictures there. Again, I didn't know about any of these. They just turned up, a couple of months after each other. And it means a hell of a lot for him to just go, I'm going to make that and spend a lot of my time for somebody else. And he's a true friend and absolute gentleman. So I look forward to catching up with him in a few weeks' time. The Grail tablet there. I think I sent you a photo with the 3 items in particular. It was on the, I'm not sure if it came through, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. But I just wanted to say, personal thank you to Scooter for doing those for me. I have thanked him many, many times, and they're prized possessions. I love them.
Did you drink out of it?
No, I'm not immortal.
I have to admit, I remember when that movie came out. Every time there were cups on the counter at home, I'd always put my hand through them.
Yep. But did your wife say you chose poorly?
Normally. That idol's awesome. I know my wife's after one of those idols. She did a dress up a couple of years ago as Indiana Jones, and she couldn't get one, so she just got a whole bunch of aluminium foil and molded one and sprayed it gold.
Oh, yeah.
You look like you already have. Your face is melted.
Right. So I guess the other thing we wanted to talk about was you guys do have a stall at Collecticon, so you go to toy fairs and things like that, and you set up under the Toy Box Collectables 2.0. And so your main focus is you're a toy collector, but you also like to sell off what you don't need or what's doubled in your collection to help. And I guess most people try to do that. I've always thought about doing a stall myself with overflow stuff that I have from my collection, but I'm too much out there running around trying to find things for my collection that I wouldn't be standing behind a table waiting for someone to buy something. So I know Skree's got a bunch of questions that go along with this little thing, and I got some photos that we'll show as we go along as well. So,
nice.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into the hard hitting questions. Hey, let's find the behind the scenes of being a
nearly out of wine.
Should we wait another 20 minutes then? Let's wait. No, so like for you guys, for like Toy Box Collectables 2.0, how long have you been doing this? Like how long has this been a thing for you guys at, say, Collecticon? Has it been a couple of years in the running, or is it
3 years? 4 years?
Yeah. Must
It's
be at
definitely 3
least.
years.
I want to say probably 4. Tubbsy,
Maybe 4. Yeah, you're right. It'd be 4 years.
I was a customer. I was a collector and attending Collecticon, like the very first Campbelltown one and all that. And then Tubbsy, we met at Collecticon face to face. We met, which would have been about 3.5 years ago.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So when Toy Box is nearly 4 years old. So yeah.
So what makes the transition from going from being a collector going, okay, now I'm going to be a seller? Like, is that a thing you think about for a while, or is it just something that one day you wake up and go, I got too much inventory, I could sell this? Is that a thing, or is it just more you want to be part of the community? Like, is that a...
For me personally, I'm about moving on stuff to make room. I used to be a completionist. I used to be like with the Black Series, for example, everything that came out, I bought 2 of. One to keep in a box and one to open. You know, put away for storage, keep it in a box, whatever. I had a bit of a think about it. And I was like, well, I really don't understand why I'm keeping one in a box and putting it in storage. What's the point? I'm just, you know, it's sitting in a cardboard box on a shelf away. You know, I don't.
Sorry.
I don't. Dean went, yeah, okay, sorry, I just saw it. Yeah, so for me, it was just more about moving it on. I felt overwhelmed. I just had too much stuff. To be honest, like without my wife's guidance, I would say with the and help of cleaning up the man cave, I just had it looked like an indie warehouse. It was just chock-a-block. It was so much stuff in here. I had stuff in the house, in the storage room, in here. It was just everywhere, and I had to get rid of it. So I just made the decision to whatever I had as a double, which was everything in the boxes, take them out, sell them. It proved the fact that I could reinvest that money in other stuff. You know, it was just sitting there doing nothing. That was my first point. And I'll let Ian mention about this, but we don't buy collections to sell them or anything like that. Everything that we've got at Collecticon is either stuff that I've purchased and then 6 or 12 months later gone, I don't really need it, or gone through the cupboards in the display cases and gone, don't need that, and just concentrated my focus to the main Star Wars that I grew up loving versus everything else. Yeah. And as you can see, you know, I don't just collect Star Wars and indie. I've got DC, I've got Marvel. I got rid of all of my MCU stuff. I've now only collect in Marvel. I only collect Ghost Rider, Punisher, and Spider-Man. Spider-Man is because that was my first superhero that I fell in love with. It was just, you know, I loved Spider-Man. It was awesome. I only collect those 3 now. But in saying that, I haven't really bought much Marvel stuff for a year or so now, to be honest, apart from the latest Ghost Rider that came out. Yeah, so that's my story with that side of it anyway.
Do you get seller's regret, or do you find it hard to part with that item that you once wanted and bought? Yeah,
I do at times. My wife will go through she won't go through the toys with me, but she'll go, if you're undecided, put it away, and then later on down the track, if you change your mind, so she won't say get rid of it. She's not, you know, she's very supportive. But if I'm looking through boxes and going, don't need it, she'll go, put it back in the box, have a think about it later on. Sometimes it has been a couple of things I wish I had kept, but then at the end of the day, I've reinvested that into other stuff that I've wanted more.
Yeah, nice.
So that must be like a struggle when you go to like the cons and it's like you see something that you've sold like months ago and then you see it again and you're like, oh, do you buy it because you got the space back, or it's like that? I reckon that would be the hard part, I think.
No, I have seen a couple of things and thought, yeah, it'd be good if I had it still, but yeah, I'd just move on. It's the room is now taken over with other stuff.
Yeah, but it's well presented and it's not cluttered. Like you can see mine, like I moved my turtles around last week and I was just like cramming them in. And I'm like, no, I don't want to have them sideways. It's like you got to be able to see what you got. But I have been tossing up the idea of moving things on, and every time I get something out and I look at it, I'm like, yeah, this doesn't fit in my collection now. I can get rid of it. But then I'm like, is it going to fit in my collection in 6 months? And I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be crying. But my wife knows I don't chuck out that much, and even with my son's toys, she'll go and bag up all the toys that are sort of past his age thing, and she won't chuck them out. She'll be like, "Here, these are for you to check and probably put back in the room." I'm like, yeah.
I've often joked with my kids and said, it's funny that I'm your father and I have more toys than you guys ever did. Yeah, and they're like, I don't want any of the toys I've got. And I had that attitude when I was a teenager as well. I was like, I don't need this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I mean, when I was a teenager, I lived on a farm and I wanted to buy a new motorbike. You know, it's a bit of a long story, but anyway, I wanted to buy a new motorbike, and mum and dad were like, well, we're not paying it for it, so you're going to have to sell some of your stuff. Cool. So I had a garage sale and I sold Castle Grayskull for $20 and I sold He-Man for $5. I had heaps of that. I had the original Ghostbusters that came out. I had heaps of Turtles. Sold it all for what I needed to get the motorbike, for example, or whatever it was. Yeah, the motorbike at the time. The only stuff out of that I kept was my Star Wars stuff, a little bit of Batman. I really wish that I had kept my original mark. So I had Firecracker, Thunder, Hawk, and Condor. I really wish I had kept those three, and I've since rebought them. But that's the only real seller's remorse that I've ever had, to be honest.
Yeah, nice. Like that. Like your focus has changed through your life, and like that's the point where most people lose their whole collections. They don't make it through the early 20s to the 30s.
Yeah.
I'm done. So, yeah, nice. So I do have some photos of the actual setup that you guys do at Collecticon.
Oh yeah.
So this is how it starts, and I guess from my perspective, I'm an early bird ticket holder. So we get an hour before the general public, but you guys are there either the night before or early in the morning setting up. And I guess what is that like? Like, what is it? Is it just insanity with everyone trying to set up all their stuff, bringing in tubs of stock? Like, run us through a little bit about what it's like that an hour or two before Collecticon kicks off.
I've spoken enough, so I'll let Ian take over, handle this one.
I was going to let you start because, well, maybe I should, because my day starts getting there at 6 a.m. Tubbsy has in the past not arrived at 6 a.m. because he didn't set an alarm.
Once I accidentally didn't set the alarm, and I set it for the weekday, not the weekend. So I slept in, and Ian rings me at, I don't know what it was,
6:01.
And he goes, any chance you're close? And I went, any chance I'm not even out of bed yet? And so it was a one time.
Yeah, well, one time, it's all it takes.
This
is at Penrith, obviously. For those that don't know, biggest toy fair in Australia, and it's cool. It's epic. We don't arrive. We don't do any pre-setup the night before. That is an option. And obviously, some of the biggest sellers, when they've got 6 tables or whatever they get in there on the Saturday and set up. So we literally leave it all. 6 a.m. is when the gates open for us to drive in and start unloading boxes and set everything up. These are the, I don't know, I think this might have been back in.
So from this photo to this, how long does that take you?
2.5 hours.
Mm.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, 2.5 hours, and that's fun. And I want to say probably 99% of stuff has prices on it as well, which is one thing that Tubbsy and I prefer to do. And yes, you're laughing. I'll let you go on from that.
99% of it, and that 1% is definitely my stuff that doesn't have prices on it. And Ian's always push, put prices on. Oh yeah, it's whatever. I don't care.
As a buyer, I love the tables that have prices. It gives you room to do a bit of haggling, and not just start off with how much is this. So yeah, come on, Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, I like a good bargain as well. As Ian's mentioned beforehand, we pretty much all of our prices are very, very cheap. You do get the odd person that, for example, you got $100 on an item. I'll give you 50. It's like, well, I'm actually taking a bath at 100, but yeah, anyway. But we're happy to do deals. That's the thing. We're happy to do deals, but not take a complete bath. Obviously, we're not selling it there for a profit or anything like that. But yeah,
yeah. How you going, Adam? Sorry,
but actually, yeah, I was a little notorious, probably the beginning of last year, to not put prices on stuff. But Ian gently persuaded me to ensure that that was rectified.
Yeah, that goes into my one of my questions I want to ask, because like my first experience with Collecticon was only last year, because I'm new to this toy scene, new to the whole thing, and I walked around and I didn't know the etiquette between like buyer and seller. I didn't want to sort of haggle. I didn't want to be like, on the you do it like garage sales, like, oh, give me this, give me that. So are you guys like that? So it's okay to bargain at a certain point, like you can bargain.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh,
you can ask a question.
Yeah. Because like I didn't want to, like myself, when I was walking around, I didn't want to pull out my phone and do like the comms and scan the item in front of me just to see prices. I thought that was like me. I thought that was rude. I was like, I better not do that, because this is my first experience walking around a ToyCon and getting to know the guys, getting to know everybody and how everything works. I'm like, oh, everyone does it. Everyone sits there and scans with their phones and they haggle the prices. And like you said, you don't put prices on things, but you can do a bargain, or you just don't go in there and say, hey, $5, like for something. But yeah,
No, I was just going to say I'm a strong believer of you shouldn't look up something. You shouldn't see it for $20 and then look it up in front of like, oh, it's 15.
To be honest, I honestly don't mind it at all, because I challenge anybody. I've never seen anyone that's looked at our stuff and looked at our prices and gone, I can get it cheaper. If you can, good luck to you. Honestly, that's the challenge that I put out to you. Our prices, they're priced to sell. I'm a collector. I'm a collector. Even though I'm struggling for room and I have a very small focus that I'm trying to discipline myself towards, the stuff that I'm there, the stuff that I have there, I don't require anymore. I don't want to pack it up at the end of the day and put it in my car. We give stuff away as well, like we make deals, and that's throughout the day. I'm a firm believer of looking after the early birds. They're making the extra effort. It's not a matter of come to us at the end of the day and, we'll discount stuff or whatever. It's not like that at all. I'd probably go the opposite. The early birds, I've been an early bird ticket holder and definitely trying to run around, within the first hour and say hi to some mates, but you're there, literally trying to find something to add to your collection. I don't mind it at all. Look at it. You're going to find our prices are absolutely cheap as, and, if you want to flip it and sell it on, good luck to you. I don't care. If it's adding to your collection, cool. That's our mindset. That's,
Just say hi to Kiwi Guy.
Hey.
Thanks for dropping in.
I was very. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say I'm the same. I don't really want to pack it all up either, but there's I often say to people, look, they're all different prices, willing to negotiate if you're buying 3 or 4 of them or whatever, especially with the Black Series. I mean, some of those, some of them you make a little bit of money, others you don't make any money on, or you're selling at half what you paid for it, whatever. But I'm more than happy to do deals with that sort of stuff, because at the end of the day, I'm just here to make room in my collection so I can buy other stuff to fill those holes.
So do you get much time? So you say you're there at 6, you got 2 hours to set up. So your 8 o'clock early bird's 8 o'clock, isn't it?
No,
Yeah.
early bird's 8:30.
8:30.
2.5 hours to set up.
Is that half an hour of you two then running around looking for something for your collection? Chewies, indies. Is there any shopping? Is there shopping at all, or is it at the end of the day you just go and see what's left? The giant Chewbacca cutout, maybe? Or...
The good thing about having two people that we've found is, for example, there was about 3 or 4 collecticons that I didn't walk around at all because I just did not want to buy anything. I was like, no, I'm stopping. Blah, blah. And then, for example, other people will walk around and go, oh, Tubbsy, there's this. Oh, yeah, all right, I'll buy that. So you get a lot of people from the other from the community, finding stuff for you, which is great. But there's been a few times I'm like, no, I'm not spending any money. When we went overseas, I didn't buy anything for the 2 collecticons before that because I just needed all the extra money. But yeah, look, I don't do a lot of shopping there, whereas I like having the 2 people because Ian, if I need to go to the toilet, for example, Ian can stand there and mind the store. Ian wants to go and do some shopping, I'll look after it. Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that makes good sense. I guess that's the bit. You're there to offload a bunch of stuff that doesn't fit in. Give yourself some room back. You don't want to just come home with the same amount of stuff.
Yeah,
you just bought and swapped over.
Yeah, so, I want to come home with a car full of Chewbaccas.
Yeah, exactly. But you're not selling a car full of Chewbaccas too.
No.
I'm with Adam. Like, I think everything at a fair has a little bit of wiggle room. Everything is jacked up a little bit more. So, and it makes that wiggle room. So that's how it is. But I think we can keep asking questions, but maybe we could show a couple of items. I know Skree's got a whole lot of stuff that he wants to show. Do you want to get into some of that, Skree, yet? Or
yeah, we can do that. We can do that now. Yeah, for sure. We can do the pickups because I've got so much pickups, so too many, way too many pickups. This pickup, this is the one I've been dying to show since, because Dean's always like, don't show it. I want to be surprised on the stream. Yeah. Like, don't show it. Don't show it. But you know this one, so you know this one. Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah. So,
hell yeah.
Ooh, nice.
I got the 5th anniversary Leonardo, Golden Leonardo.
Very nice.
It's the literal. It's the cherry on top of the vintage collection.
Okay.
If you're a real collector in vintage turtles, you got to have that piece. It's so nice.
And I think we found out it was numbered 96,000. So yeah.
Is there 96,000 in the line, or is there more than that? Like that's numbered 96,000.
Yeah. So there's 100,000 of them made.
Okay, nice. All right, awesome.
100,000 of them made. Yeah. So yeah. So I saw this little bad boy on good old Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, sold. So yeah, I got that one just before Christmas. So that started the Christmas. What's the name?
Yeah. So just for those people that don't know, it is a Leonardo figure, like with his katanas, but it's actually the Donatello figure mold. So
right, okay.
Yeah, so you can tell that's a Donatello figure, but they've just painted it gold and gave him swords, made it Leonardo. So
it's cool.
Fun fact for that, but that is a sick pickup. And for Marketplace, like, wow.
See, I'm on Marketplace like every day. Like, Marketplace is like my stomping ground. I love it. It's so good. I picked up this too. This Mr. Potato Head.
Hey, guys, Hazel.
Mr. Potato Head Super Soaker.
Super Soaker.
Yeah.
Have you tried this out yet?
No, I haven't, because I want to put it on the shelf and I don't want to put water in it. But the guy I bought it off said he tested it and it did work. So
where does the water come out of? Everywhere.
It looks like it's got holes on the bottom.
Okay.
And I think also the hat pops up and sprinkles out. We might have to test it one day.
Yeah.
I don't. Have you done a
reel? Pops off. Water goes everywhere.
Yeah. What'd you say, Dean?
Have you done a reel or a video on this? Like, is there a commercial for this?
Not yet, no. This is one of the ones I was saving for the show before I did like the deep dive research.
I like Tubbsy's idea that, like, eventually we'd just go, and, like,
Yeah.
everything would just explode off it.
Be like, uh-oh. But yeah, no, this is like from, what is it? 96.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Wow.
And that was a Facebook Marketplace one as well. So I was like,
you.
that's crazy.
Nice.
So, quick question for you, because of the marketplace, I'm on marketplace quite a lot as well. But in all honesty, I've got 4 saved searches, and they all include the words Indiana Jones. So I really don't look at much. Oh, and there's another one, 5. I got Mad Max. But so do you just have like a wide? Do you just search anything, or you look for turtles? You look for? I mean, obviously, Mr. Potato Head is a different to a turtle, but
Yeah.
did you specifically look for that, or did it just pop up?
It just pops up. So I'm lazy, so I search only like 20 Ks from my area. So I don't want to drive far. So whatever pops up, yeah. That's how I do it. So,
Hey, Stu.
Hey, shoot. But I know if I increase the search, I'll drive further and spend more money. So I keep it narrow. So they just randomly pop up. Yeah.
You get some cool things on Marketplace. I don't like Marketplace. I don't like the idea of going to meet some random somewhere and I've never really done it. People send me a lot of things and say, "Hey, look, this is near you," and I'm like, "Yeah, you get it. You get it."
You do get some characters. You do get some characters on Marketplace.
I hate meeting up with somebody on a curbside and like counting out cash and then getting a box and jumping in your car and driving off. I swear people are there going,
what's going on there?
Ring the cops.
You need to get a T-shirt. It's like, it's not drugs, it's Marketplace. You know, like.
Do you boys have some stuff we want to share? Or we might go around. Do you have any new things for 2025 or anything you wanted to show off that you haven't? I know you've just showed off your whole collection. But...
So, like I said, the newest thing for me personally is the mouse.
Sorry, Ian's just got Chewbaccas. What else is he going to show?
Anyway, it's a bit, but that's the newest one that I've got. Like
cool.
I said, the leather is proper leather. The head sculpt, there's 4 of them. 4 in total. The hat comes off, or did a few days ago.
Head came off.
He's got a weird haircut, but anyway, he's
Oh, what?
It's to hold his hat in place. Don't want to blow that off in the wind. It looks like Mr. T with blonde hair. So that's the newest one for me. There has been other stuff, but that's the most notable for me. I'm looking forward to Tot coming as well, so that I can have the 2 together. Both figures are awesome. I think there's 3 or 4 heads with Tot as well. You can go normal face to melty face, melty hands.
Wow.
So looking forward to that.
I don't know if you have you ever thought about like diorama setups?
Yes.
Like doing that sort of. It's something that's been on my cards for a little bit.
I would
lately.
love to. I mean, to be honest, I've got heaps and heaps of stuff to start. I find it difficult for me personally to find motivation. I look at, lots of different diorama groups. I help admin a diorama group. I don't know if you guys know, but I do a lot more of the plastic scale modeling than I do building dioramas.
Yeah.
Involved in that is building bases and so on to go with it. But I just don't really find that. I much prefer to sit down and paint a plastic model and put it together than I do playing with foam and so on. I think what other people do are great, and I question my skills at that sort of stuff. It's a bit of a self-doubt thing for me personally. But I do have ideas of doing dioramas of a catacombs and all that sort of stuff, or a tomb or whatever.
With the boulder.
So I can have any stuff. But again, it's fine in the room. Like I've got here, there's a diorama that takes up the whole shelf. So it's more of a room thing for me as well.
Yeah, true. No, it's just something that especially with my Star Wars collection, wanting to maybe get into doing sort of diorama pieces, especially like around Endor and things like that, where I could do a bit of that moss grass sort of thing around the bunker. Yeah, no, I just thought because you got these really high articulated Indiana Jones like 12-inch figures, and like you can put them in any position you want. Like,
yeah, true.
The background completes it, I guess.
I mean, I don't have it here, but I do have. I think I printed 3D printed like 50 skulls so that I can build the catacombs diorama. I just haven't had time to do it, to be honest. I would love to, and I will do it eventually, but it's just not physically possible at the moment, time wise.
And Ian, what do you got? Jeez.
Not much. Like, yeah, jealous of you guys saying that you've had time off and all that kind of stuff. I haven't. Very slim pickings. Slim pickings for me, but yes, a few more Chewbacca's to add to the collection, which is cool. The only thing that wasn't Chewbacca related, which I was really stoked to pick up, that's quite glary actually, but
I'm just going to share your Chewbacca collection again for people that have come.
They all look the same. Nothing to see. I got a pickup that I did get. I was in Melbourne back home in Melbourne for 8 days over Christmas, and managed to pop out to Aaron's Collectables one afternoon. So picked up the Lego minifig Santa Claus, which is actually featured in our Christmas banner, the Toy Box Collectables 2.0 Christmas banner. So yeah, that was kind of cool. There's a few Chewbaccas there. Not enough. Need more. Always looking for more. Guinness Book of Record for Chewbacca figures. Good question, Matt. I don't know. I really don't know. We were talking before about collection sizes and stuff. I don't know. Not sure. Wouldn't have a clue. Happy to chat. I'd love to find other people that have that focus as well. That'd be kind of cool.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Is there a Guinness Book of Records for Chewbacca figures?
Yeah. No idea.
I reckon that's just a simple email, and it might be you.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that I want that spotlight, to be honest. I don't know.
Well, it's pretty cool, huh? I want to share some stuff. Nate's just saying, what's the collective noun for Wookiees? I don't know. I'm just going to share some gifts that I was gifted by Ian. These are for my 40th. So these were my 40th birthday present from Ian. So
it's cool.
I'll say thanks again in sort of virtual person. But,
you're welcome. Even though you didn't know about it.
No, I didn't know about it, which is awesome. So yeah, just me as a bike scout there. This is my favorite character from Star Wars. That's why this one's here. But this is Kit Dino.
That's actually cool.
It took me a couple of glasses of wine to come up with that name, but yeah.
It was better than Dean Fister.
After the third or fourth glass of wine, that's what I actually came up with. But yeah.
And this
one, did you notice, Dean, the 40th anniversary logo on that one? Did notice?
Oh no, okay. I didn't notice.
Live reaction.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice. A little birthday cake.
That's cool.
Yeah.
For my 40th.
Got rid of what Lucas Arts has on there.
It's
a little Easter egg.
And the last one you made for me, like I was blown away. Like I opened these and I'm like, whoa, 1, 2, 3, what? So I got a Dean Solo, which I just think just works, but
it actually does though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dean Solo.
So, question without notice as well. Are you aware because Sarah obviously gave me this list of your favorite Star Wars characters. They all ironically have the green,
Pill.
the card back color. They're all great. Is that? I don't know. I know you're a Turtles fan. Is that somehow a subliminal message or whatever? Or
no?
Is that? Yeah, literally when she gave me that list, I'm like, wow, that's cool, because obviously I customize all of the, try to make them as realistic as possible to a certain degree. But I found that kind of ironic that they were all actually green colors. There's only a few obviously to choose from in the Star Wars card back colors. But yeah, I thought that was kind of unique.
All I remember is Sarah once asked me one afternoon, she goes, "Who is your favorite Star Wars character?" And I'm like, and it was Kit Fister. And I said, well, you probably don't even know who he is. And my son is Color Link. I like it. But no, thank you heaps for that, mate. When I opened them, and my birthday, I've shown them before, my birthday was full of a lot of artwork that Sarah from different people. This was actually, I want to show one more piece, because this is something my mother-in-law got made for me. She didn't like it. She thought I wouldn't like it, and I'm like, well, it's meant to look like that, because it's a what do they call it? Caricature. And I'm like, yeah, my nose is that big. But I'm like, so she got them out and she didn't give it to me for my birthday. She wanted it, but I got like little Street Shark and the Turtles.
It's the Street Shark, isn't it?
Yeah. So she got a friend that she knew drew that up, and again, she didn't like it, so she was just like, I won't give it to you. So about 2 weeks after my birthday, she was like, well, you can have it anyway. I'm like, that's exactly how they're supposed to look. They're supposed to be cartoony and comedic. So really.
Just on my custom card works at Tubbsy, I've done a couple for you, Dean. You got 3 in 1 hit. Skree, being out there, mate. If you want me to do any kind of custom card work for hang on
a second.
It's difficult, because when you asked me probably 6 months ago, and I was like, how could I choose one thing? I'm like, it was ridiculously hard, and I always thought about it. I just didn't know what to pull the trigger on. Show us no.
Just don't choose one. Don't choose one. Choose more.
Make it easier.
Skree back.
All right, Skree.
All right.
What happened with Skree?
Oh, I got one more thing. So, Dean, remember I don't even know where it is. Here. So, remember I showed you the Steve Irwin pop?
Yes.
So I always say I'm not a pop collector. So I'm like, okay, as soon as I got a Steve Irwin pop, I'm now a pop collector. And I had to get 2 more. And then Dean's like, pops normally come with 4. And this is what you haven't seen, Dean. The 4th one.
Yay. They always come in 4s.
But because I like to research things that I collect. I got to hunt for another one that has a different sticker on it. So apparently there's one with a different sticker. It's like a Australian zoo exclusive.
So you've got 2 that are the same, and then you got 2. One's a chase, one's a pop culture sticker.
Yeah. So they're all different.
Oh, they are. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So that's the crocodile.
Right. Okay. Cool.
That's it.
And then that's the snake. That's the pop culture. And I think this is the one that comes with the zoo sticker.
Yeah. Okay.
And then and the chase. Where he's holding a turtle. Trying to get the glare. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
I just want to get to some of these, Skree, because the chat's exploded with great. You got Skree Backer, which we've seen.
Skree Backer.
Screeby One Kenobi.
Nice, Nate. Nice.
Screevel Knievel.
Nice.
And then we've got a new hashtag started. Skree is not a pop collector.
that was actually my hashtag for a while there when I started doing getting pops. I was like, I'm not a pop collector, and then all of a sudden,
don't you remember what happened to me when I said I wasn't a pop collector, and behind me were all my pops, and I was like, oh.
But after getting Steve on pops, I'm a pop collector. Okay, I'll admit it now on live. I'm a pop collector.
They are very cool.
I like them.
Yeah,
I love Steve Owens
all the time.
Right.
But, then I realized I had more pops than I really wanted to, so I automatically became one.
I just want to show these 2 bits of artwork that I got. Now these things are just they're not very expensive. They're just cheap little metal tin things. But my wife picked these 2 up for me. So this is Skree Sharks. Now this is what I think. What a live action Street Sharks would look like.
Yeah, that is cool. Awesome artwork.
It is awesome artwork. These are just A4 sort of tins.
Mm-hmm.
But she also knows that I love this show. Movie. It is a show too. But yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
Dark Crystal. But she hates when I watch it because I walk around for the next week or so going, ooh. If you know what that is. It's those things. But yeah. I just thought I'd show them they're sick. The artwork's crazy.
Have you watched the Jim Henson documentary on Disney at all?
I haven't finished.
It's awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Nice. All right. Anyone else got anything?
The 2 of the artwork that Ian did for me.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Oh, nice.
That's cool. That's cool.
Did that one?
Yeah, you wouldn't even notice that if you didn't point it out.
Yeah, and then this one, the bastard.
And I gotta say, I'm giggling my ass off while I'm doing these things as well. I make no apologies for that.
And then Ian's even got the little Lobot with the Toy Box Collectables T-shirt on because of his PUBG figure.
You've done a few card arts for a lot of people. I'm just my head's just going, thinking of characters now.
Yeah, it's good fun. I love it. It's my my little escape. Unfortunately, until I win Lotto, I work a lot, but it's a nice little way of just sort of escaping. And I don't know. You touched on dioramas and model making and all those sorts of things. They're things that I like as well. I haven't done them for years. I'm like Tubbsy. I've got a D'Agostini Millennium Falcon that I need to finish off.
My head on the shelf.
Again, mine's in the other room that I've sort of taken over. But I don't know. For me, artwork. It's something that I can just sort of go back to, and I enjoy it. It's good fun. So anyone out there, put it out there to anyone. Mm-hmm. If you want some weird artwork, I don't know, stuff that makes me laugh anyway. You may or may not like it, but let me know. Always up for ideas.
Skree asked beforehand if there was seller's remorse, but I've got buyer's remorse with that D'Agostini Falcon because it's cost a fortune, and I'm still 3/4 of the way through. It's been sitting on the shelf for about 6 years, 8 years, whatever it is. Yeah, so it's just anyway. I haven't finished it. It's still there. But the wife always says to me, "You're going to finish that? That's next on the bench. You got to finish that one." Nah. One day.
Before we start to wrap up, guys, I just did you do these live presentations of Collecticon when they come on? Are you guys looking to be doing that again? Where I know you sort of pin drop a few of the collectors and try to give people a bit of help and understanding of what these guys sell. So if you're into Star Wars, go see Phil Taylor at Taylor's Toys and Treasures and like all that stuff. And I'll share a couple of photos that you sent. So is that something that we're going to be seeing again in 2025?
Yeah, short answer is yes. Again, I'm always time poor.
Yeah.
I've got every intention of doing this, and usually, like, we kind of want to do it. I want to set these up, to do them, at least sort of 5 days before CollectorCon. It's a matter of getting the floor plan from Amy. She knows I'm always hounding her for that. It's usually sort of shared. Well, now in recent cons, it's been shared a week out before the con, so the Sunday before, a week before the actual con takes place. It's a matter of getting the graphics done behind the scenes and, putting people's pinpointing a few sellers, some mates in the community that we have, and I don't know. There's a bit behind the scenes to sort of do that. This is the shopping list that I did. So Amy approached me. I don't even remember when it was. I want to say 12 to 18 months ago, at least. Asking me if I wanted to be a part of the admin side of the CollectorCon community page, just to help that sort of, get a little bit more action out there on the Facebook page itself. So I came up with that shopping list idea. Tubbsy and I, we hear it all the time, and I know all the other, a lot of the other sellers hear the same thing. Someone will turn up to their table and they'll ask, "Have you got such and such?" And the answer is yes, but they haven't brought it with them. It's still sitting at home and all that kind of stuff. So, to be honest, it's putting it out there, just, for people to put what their wish list is. So it's both buyers and sellers that are going to be there on the day. Most of us are also collectors. Sellers, that is. We are also collectors. It's probably why we got into the whole hobby. So everyone's always looking to add something to their collection. I put that out there, and I've posted that in in the lead up to recent cons, so that people can just sort of put what they're there for, what they're trying to hunt for, and hopefully the sellers see that, and if they've got something that they can offer that person, then they'll bring it on the day, so that we don't have those conversations of have you got this? Yes, but it's not here, sort of thing.
Yeah, I've had that a few times, and you always think they're never going to remember next time.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Like, we're obviously always asking people if they wanted to join the page. That way they can stay in contact with us. And, we don't just do the cons. We do, it's an open page for anyone to sell on our page. We do live auctions as well. So there's other ways to add to your collection if that's what you're wanting to do, which ultimately we all are.
100%.
I missed that. What was the question from Nate? The Young and the Restless.
So this is the Young and the Restless VHS sleeve that Nate made for Scotty. So it was the Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. And Matt's just saying that how appropriate next to the wrestling ring where the battle for the vinyl cape jowl will take place. Now
it's going to be on.
Let's talk to Amy about a headliner.
How many years have I been asking to get inside that ring? And
one of you has to wear the vinyl cape, one of you has to wear the cloth cape, and then battle it out.
I've been trying to get inside that ring for 3 years, I reckon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we always get told off. Yeah. Amy's a party pooper.
Just sign some waiver. Just sign some waiver, you'll be right.
Yeah.
So, boys, I think we'll wrap it up there on Skree, unless you've got more questions. But just
questions good for? Yeah, I'm good for questions.
Just want to thank you, boys, so much. Just showing off your amazing collections for anyone new that hasn't seen them.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Really appreciate it.
No, it's been a blast, guys. It's been great just to get to know more collectors in the community now. Like, I've got to meet you guys at each collection, talk a little bit on the side. But it's been a couple of years now, so building a nice relationship with more people that love what we do.
Yep.
Yeah. Love to have you both over on Toy Box as well for a Toy Box Talks, and
Yeah, definitely.
I'll ask you some questions.
Shoot away.
Get a top of the collection. Yeah.
Yeah. Skree, I won't ask about your Google history though. Things like squirting potato heads or
yeah, that's probably a good idea. Like your YouTube algorithm might boot you completely, or your Facebook algorithm.
You're the Polly Pocket guy now, Skree.
Yeah,
Polly Pocket. Yeah. Polly Pocket.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you. No, it's been fantastic. I had a great night. So thank you very much.
Cheers, Scotty, for the plug, mate. Appreciate that.
Yes. Thanks, Scotty.
Yep.
I'll do the little outro for you, the show. So, guys, if you notice, we are on a different channel tonight. We're actually over on Dean's channel tonight. This is the thing moving forward in the future. We're going to mix it up a bit. It'll be on my channel, it'll be on Dean's channel. It's just to sort of keep the community together. We're not sort of like splitting it up throughout all different channels. So yeah, all down below, all the rewatches down below, there'll be links to these guys' Facebook page. There'll be links to our page. So make sure to check it out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps a lot. It keeps us wanting to do this over and over and over and over again. So it's it means a lot. But yeah, all down below. So make sure to check that out.
Well said, Skree. And yeah, we've got a few episodes, so episode per month coming up. We've already got some other great guests lined up. But to start the year, Tubbsy, Ian, thank you for joining us. Thank you for breaking down your collection, your hobby, what you love to do, and just giving us a little bit of insight into Collecticon and what it's like being on the other side of the table. So
Beautiful.
Thank you, everyone in the chat. And until next time, guys, we will see you. See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.